The honor of simply winning a competition, no matter if there's a material prize to be won or not, is one of the most valuable commodities in the universe from just a feeling perspective. Whether it be breaking records, being the first to do a crazy achievement, or simply being the best and on top of everything, it just feels good to be the best in a group. For better or worse, we have a world where there must always be winners and losers. Whether it be silly things like fighting games and Beyblades, or more serious stuff like getting that job so you can pay rent. It's partially why we find death game battle royale stories like Squid Games, Hunger Games, Fate, or Kamen Ryuki so compelling on a base conceptual level. It's human nature to pit random people against each other to figure out who's the best. I mean, we even see it here on YouTube with ranking and tier list videos determining which piece of art is the best and worst among each other. We love comparisons and arbitrary lists of who's weak and who's peak. However, unless it's a battle to the death, if you lose a game, even if you're humiliated or all the attention is given to the winner, you can always try again and get better the next time you play. You know, pick yourself back up, learn from your sloppy plays, work towards bettering yourself, all that good stuff. However, all this hope and goodwill is thrown out the window in the worst collectible game of all time, BreaKey. Some of you might be familiar with this game already through the excellent videos Cam Sandwich has done on the subject. The rest of you aren't ready. BreaKey was a collectible game made in 2003 by Upper Deck and quickly died due to various lawsuits that came from trying to generate publicity from the game, but that's a story for the BreaKey files. I mean, apparently the Backstreet Boys were involved, it's a whole thing. I'm more focused on the philosophy behind BreaKey's core game design. So the idea behind the game is that you and your opponent have these special keys. You both lock them in, and whoever breaks off the key's strongest wins. The problem is, you can't repair the keys after the battle, and because of how short of a printing run and obscure this game is, that means there's only a finite amount of times the game can be played within the entire world. This isn't even getting into all the plastic waste the permadeath key creates on the earth, which is a whole other can of worms. There was an idea early in development for the key to be edible candy, which is still kinda stupid, but would have made the waste issue non-existent and infinitely better. BreaKey is an idea you'd think would be cool for 5 seconds before realizing how stupid that would be as a children's toy, commercial product, and competition subject. People often complain in fighting games and card games about how unbalanced or brain-dead mechanics can be, but usually there's still some strategy and creativity involved for those at the top of the food chain. But BreaKey takes all that agency away for a lame shock gimmick. Also, there was a random One Piece collab with the game exclusive to Germany, but hey, at least I can put Luffy on the thumbnail and have it make sense. Based on everything we've just talked about, there seems to be a cynical and sad thesis that BreaKey's game design seems to be founded on. That only winners should have the right to play the game, have fun, and get rewarded, with losers being punished for simply not being the winner. And I hate that! Losers deserve respect too, either for their slow journey to get an eventual win, or for just being there to have a good time. There's always a spotlight being put on the best players in stuff like the trading card game and fighting game communities, but in reality, most of those communities are made up of losers. Losers who help each other out, give advice, and are generally swell human beings even outside of playing the games. BreaKey, at its core, is already really bad, but it's also the antithesis to positive competitive community building. And that sucks. That's why it's the worst collectible game of all time.